Thanks for clicking on the video. Here we have Rob's driving test in Crawley. As you'll see, I've sped up lots of parts of the video, just keeping in the more interesting bits and speeding up the less interesting bits. Now on to the video. Rob is directed out of the test centre and asked to turn left out of the gates. A good start here from Rob as he slows down and plans to stop behind the give-way lines, which is important here as it's a 50-mile-an-hour road, so traffic is coming very fast. Now we come up to the first big roundabout. Rob is asked to turn right, third exit, towards Crawley A23. He checks his mirrors, signals right, and positions well to the right lane, going through the hatched area to avoid the traffic in the left lane. Here's Rob's first driver fault. He's approaching a green light and should be slowing, but doesn't. This means when the light changes to amber, he has to brake hard to stop. And we're off. As Rob comes round the roundabout, he keeps positioned in the right lane nicely. When he comes round this corner, he could move to the left lane if it's safe to, but he stays in the right lane, which is fine, as this can be used for the next exit he wishes to take. And we're off. As he comes round the roundabout, he keeps on his left mirror as well as his black car. What's this black car going to do? And he gets cut up. The examiner goes for the brake pedal, but Rob beats into it. The examiner praises Rob for his reactions, and also reassures him that it is not his fault, he did the correct thing by braking. Rob then keeps his composure and moves back to the left lane when it's safe to do so. And some good awareness and planning skills here from Rob, as he looks far ahead and sees the speed limit changing to 30 miles per hour due to roadworks. Having a 30 mile per hour speed limit on a road like this can often feel a bit strange, and it can be tempting to go faster, especially as the other drivers are going over 30, but Rob does well to keep within the speed limit. Rob waits patiently for his gap at the roundabout, and when he gets his gap, notice as he enters the new road there's no speed limit change. So technically, the speed limit is still 30 miles per hour, as it only changes if a sign tells you. However, Rob actually goes over 30 miles an hour on this road, but this does not get marked by the examiner. I suspect this is examined using common sense, as this road is typically known as a 40 mile an hour road, and the roadworks have clearly ended here. Rob is now asked to turn right at the roundabout. So he checks his mirrors, signals right, slows down because he can't see to the right very well, and it's clear to go. So he goes round the roundabout and takes his exit. Please take the next road on the left into the car park. If you could please come to a stop just after the gates. Now I'd like to drive forwards into any convenient bay in the car park here. A bit of an odd situation here with this silver Mercedes, But Rob deals with it well by pulling in slowly and pulling well over to the left to give room for the Mercedes to pass him. He even does touch the curb a bit, but the examiner's not too concerned about this. It's a bit of an odd situation. Now the Mercedes has moved, he swings out far to the right to give himself space to swing into a bay on the left. He does even then need to correct it here by reversing back slightly, but again, this is not marked, probably due to the silver Mercedes making the situation very difficult. The examiner takes this into account and is quite kind with his marking. After the correction, Rob gets himself nicely into the bay between the lines, straightens up, and then stops just before he reaches the curb. Thank you. Please can you now reverse out of the bay when it's safe to do so. Having checked all his blind spots and mirrors effectively, Rob starts to reverse back slowly out of the bay. Thank you, and drive on when you're ready. We'll be heading out of the car park. At the end of the road, turn left. Please could you pull up on the left just after this side road. Please don't worry if you're too near the side road or blocking any driveways. That's great there, thank you. Please drive on when you're ready. Rob waits a little bit here to pull away because he forgets his phone isn't on silent and it's been making pinging noises every few minutes on his test. He apologises to the examiner, gets his phone out and switches it off while he's safely parked. Rob selects first gear, sets the gas, doesn't quite find the biting point, which means he rolls back a bit here. He checks his mirrors and his blind spot, releases the handbrake and he's off. The slight rollback is not marked down, it's only a very, very minor rollback and is all clear behind him. At the roundabout, turn right. Rob checks his mirrors, signals right, looks to the right as that's who he needs to give way to, and it's still clear. He proceeds onto the roundabout and turns right. Please could you pull up on the left just before the black parked car? Get reasonably close to it, about a car length away from it please. That's fine there, thank you. Please drive on when you're ready. Some good checks of his middle and right mirror and his right blind spot, and Rob's away. Please could you find a safe place to pull up on the left somewhere along this road? Rob chooses a safe place, checks his mirrors, signals, and pulls over to the left. Thank you, and drive on when you're ready. Rob takes a few seconds to compose himself, make sure he's calm and ready to carry on driving safely. He checks his mirrors, checks his right blind spot, and off he goes. Please could you find a safe place to pull up on the left? Rob finds a suitable place, checks his mirrors, signals left, and pulls over. Okay, Rob, we're now going to start the independent drive. So, I'd like to turn left at the traffic lights coming up, and then turn left at the roundabout, first exit, and then follow the signs towards East Grinstead A264. If you have any questions anytime, please do ask me. Please drive on when you're ready. A good check of his mirrors and blind spot, and Rob's away. So just to confirm, Rob, once we've turned to these traffic lights, we'll be turning left at the roundabout, first exit, and then following the signs towards East Grinstead A264. So we can see we've got a roundabout coming up, and notice the warning signs. We're looking for East Grinstead A264. Rob checks his mirrors and looks at the road sign, and it's ahead, second exit. He positions in the left lane correctly. He slows down nicely into the roundabout, scanning ahead and to the right to look for a gap and look for his positioning. Once he's slowed, he changes his gears, sees his gap, and then he's off. Middle mirror, left signal to exit the roundabout. Noticing new road, new speed is 50 miles per hour. So another roundabout coming up, we can see the information board on the left. So East Grinstead is ahead, third exit here. So Rob checks his mirrors and starts to slow. He sees there's 3 lanes according to the board on the right. He's going to choose the middle lane as this is the best lane for going ahead, third exit at this roundabout. Anticipating the lights changing as he wants to avoid making the mistake he made earlier. He keeps in his lane nicely, keeping between the lines. Again, anticipating the lights could change. Follows the lane to the outside and keeps nicely in the outside lane, taking the next exit off. Noticing new road, new speed is national speed limit. The examiner asked Rob to turn right in the next roundabout, third exit towards Three Bridges. He has good positional approach to the roundabout. Having checked his mirrors and got his right signal on, he now keeps nicely in the right lane. As he enters the roundabout, he thinks new road, new speed, 40 miles per hour. Scanning to the right for a gap, looking ahead to make sure he knows where to be positioned. Keeps scanning right, then ahead, looking for a gap and making sure he knows where to be positioned. He gets his gap and pulls onto the roundabout, keeping in the right lane. So we're looking for third exit. There's the first exit. He comes round the corner, checks his middle and left mirror, and keeps near the centre line as is required on this roundabout. There's the second exit. He checks his middle and left mirror, signals left, and keeps to the left lane as he wishes to take the next exit. He checks his right mirror for any vehicles that could be overtaking as he exits the roundabout and as the lanes merge. And he can now see he's going to be merging with traffic further ahead. You can also see a give way sign coming up. So he checks his middle and right mirror, signals right, checks his blind spot, and slows down as there's traffic coming that needs to be given way to. When they've passed, there's a final check of his mirrors and his blind spot and merges on. The examiner now asks Rob to turn right at the roundabout, second exit. Checks his mirrors, signals right, positions in the right lane, looks for his gap, it's all clear to go, so off he goes. Middle, left mirror, left signal, and coming off the roundabout. Noticing on the new road the speed limit is still 40 miles per hour. The examiner now confirms that is the end of the independent drive. I will give you directions as normal now. At the traffic lights, turn right towards town centre. Rob checks the signs and road markings and positions in the middle lane correctly. This means when he turns right at the lights, he can keep in the left lane, which is the lane that you should normally be driving in. He keeps well over to the left, the outside, as he comes round the corner, making sure he doesn't cut up any cars that are on the right of him. Being careful not to accelerate too firmly, as the traffic lights could change at any moment. Again, he doesn't want to make the same mistake as he made at the beginning of the test, and run the risk of jumping a red light. Checking his middle and right mirror here, as the lanes merge ahead, looking for any traffic that could be overtaking. Notice the speed limit is now 40 miles per hour. The examiner now asks Rob at the next junction to approach in the left lane and keep in the left lane, and that will take him where he needs to go. So, he checks his mirrors, slows down into the roundabout, checks to the right, all looks clear to go, so as per the examiner's advice, he keeps in the left lane, and stays in the left lane, and follows the left lane round the roundabout until he gets to his exit. So he continues to follow the left lane, and he sees it's going to be turning left. So he follows the lane round to the left, and keeps near the curb in the left lane. At the traffic lights, turn left. Rob checks his middle and left mirror, signals left, and keeps to the left lane. Noticing the speed limit changes to 30 miles per hour. Remember, new road, new speed. Just before he turns left, Rob checks to the right for any emergency vehicles that could be jumping the red light. As he comes around the corner, he cancels his signal and keeps within the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit well. Again, good speed choice here as he stays within the speed limit, which is 30 miles per hour. Slows slightly for the lights in anticipation they could change to amber at any point. At the roundabout, turn left, first exit towards Brighton. Rob checks his middle and left mirror for any buses in the bus lane. He signals left, has a final check of his left mirror, and as it's safe, he moves across to the left lane. Checks right for his gap, and off he goes. New road, new speed limit is 50 miles per hour. When the lights change, Rob notices the speed limit changing to national speed limit, which would be 70 miles per hour here, as it's a dual carriageway. The examiner now asks Rob, show me how you would turn on the headlights. Rob operates the control, turns on the headlights, and then turns them back off. At the roundabout, follow the road ahead, second exit, towards Pease Pottage Services. Rob checks the signs to confirm Noticing P's pottage is on the second sign, the white sign, and its second exit, so he keeps in the left lane as there's no road markings saying anything differently. Once he's got his gap, he pulls onto the roundabout nicely and keeps in the left lane correctly. Noticing the road markings confirm he's in the correct lane for services P's pottage. Mirrors and signal left to exit the roundabout. New road, new speed. It's 50 miles per hour on this one. Please could you take the next road on the right back into the test centre? It's just where the white signs are. Please now make your way round to the left, being mindful of any traffic round the corner or traffic coming from your right. And if you can now drive forward into any bay in the car park to finish off. Thank you. Please secure the car, switch off the engine, take off your seatbelt, make yourself feel comfortable. I'll be a few minutes.